Hello. In this video essay, we will be doing the architectural analysis of the script of the recent Malayalam movie Malik. It traces the lifespan of the central protagonist, the hero, literally from his birth or the second birth till his ultimate death. The story can be visualized as a linear narrative consisting of some important events in his life. We learn about his early life, how did he came to the profession which he continued till his end, his relationship and marriage, and the most important event in his life which shaped the later events in his lifetime, his arrest and his death. This is the chronological order of the main events which are covered in the film. But the makers have chosen to represent these events in an interesting manner. That is what is done in the screenplay structure. So the chronological order of the events is rearranged in a very different manner. That styling is very individualistic for every writer, and the director can have the freedom of choosing a different structure of the events so that the entire movie viewing experience can become more interesting. In this film, the director and the writers have chosen a particular order in which first we see the arrest of the person, the hero, and then we learn more about him in more or less in a chronological fashion. So it starts with his arrest in his later stages of life, and then we go back in a series of flashbacks to see what happened in his early life, what shaped his ideology and thoughts, why did he choose a profession, what are his relationships, and finally come to that main incident of firing. And from there, it is almost linearly taken to see how he met with his ultimate death. So, from the chronology, there is a reordering of events in the screenplay. But we do not learn the events of his life directly. We get it through the stories narrated by two important persons of his life. One is his mother, who gives us the story of his early life and the first time he made a major mistake according to her, and how he fell in love and married the girl he wished to live along. And the story is further continued through his best friend. He marries the sister of his best friend, so he is the right candidate to continue the movie forward. So he tells us about his relationship, how they got married, and he also is a very important player in this firing episode, which he explains from his perspective. Later in the story, the hero himself comes down and gives a different version, not alternate, but other perspective of how this firing incident happened and why he acted in the way he had to act later. So there are three flashbacks, one given by the mother, one by the friend, and the same incident is covered again by the hero himself, more or less justifying his actions. Now, an interesting part of the screenplay here is they don't narrate the story directly to us. There is a character of a boy who happens to be the friend's son, therefore, the son in law of the hero, to whom everybody narrates the story. So, it is this boy who is the narrator of the story for all of us. It is through him that we understand the character of the hero completely. So, the mother of the hero comes to the boy and narrates the story. The friend, who is boy's father, narrates him the story, and the hero, who is boy's uncle, also gives him the perspective of his version of the main incident which happened. So the screenplay structure looks like this. One final addition to this screenplay structure is that the boy's character is coming to the story soon after the arrest. Once the hero is arrested, we get introduced to the boy's character and we get along with the story throughout through him, and his version of the story continues even after the death of the main hero. So he is the common thread combining together the different versions given by the mother, friend, and the hero, and his span in the story is from the starting, not literally from the starting, but soon after the main event of arrest, till the death and aftermath also. Along with him comes a mysterious girl who is a co traveler of the boy in the entire story. He plays, the girl plays a very pivotal role in the story, and along with the boy, they kind of get us along in the complete story. This is the complete structure or the architecture of the screenplay of the movie Malik. So there are events which are arranged not so in the chronological fashion, but in a fashion where the throwbacks are there to the story. There are flashbacks given by the mother, the friend, and hero justifying himself through the boy, and the character arc of the boy and his co traveler girl is beyond the lifespan of the main hero. This screenplay structure in itself is not problematic. In fact, it's very interesting to see how the writers and the directors have visualized the entire screenplay. But the entire movie experience could have been enhanced if they could have focused on some of the issues which we will discuss now with the help of this structure itself. The first suggestion that we would like to give is about the flashback story itself. Now, the first flashback story, which is given by the mother, takes us through the early life of the hero. Nothing wrong in that, except the fact that though the flashback starts very well from the point of view of the mother, after some events, the story completely loses its track from this point of view. For example, how the son, that is the hero, goes into the seas, gets involved in all the things which later lands him into the problem, is explained through the perspective of the hero, though we are told that this story is being narrated by the mother. So the point of view is completely lost because that forms a major part of storytelling from his entire life, early life, to his first major operation which he does, and how he fell in love and decides to marry the girl is narrated to us from the point of view of the mother. But along the line, the entire narration loses track from the point of view of mother and takes an independent track on it itself. So as a movie going experience, there will be a jerky experience because the point of view suddenly changes. That should have been corrected. And the second suggestion is again with the second flashback given by the friend. Again here, he is an actor, he is a player in the main event involving that firing incident. After the marriage of the hero with his own sister, how did they break up? Why did they break up? And what led him to go against the hero forms the main part of the story. But unfortunately, again here, the point of view somewhere gets lost. So the first suggestion would be to focus on point of view narration itself. When flashback stories are told, though they start with a good note, when they come back, the loop mostly will not be complete. So that hurts the movie viewing experience in itself. When a character starts narrating the story, even though there is a hero whose story we are listening to, we should listen to the story of the hero through the voice of the person who is narrating it. This most important aspect is lost in this movie, not once but twice. That is where the viewing experience will not be so very pleasurable. That should have been corrected. The second suggestion that we would like to give is with the hero defending himself. Now, as far as the story goes, there should have been a point where somebody should have defended the actions done by the hero. That is absolutely essential because we are rooting for the hero, we are cheering him up, and he can't be painted in a negative way. So, somewhere down the line, his actions should be justified. Now, there are two choices here. One is either the central character himself can come up and give a justification for his actions, but we believe that if somebody had justified his actions, it would have been better. There is a very solidly written and very well enacted role of the hero's wife, who is friend's sister. Now, she could have been brought in to give the perspective of the hero, and that would have added to the overall narrative because the other two people gave their perspective of the entire events. And if wife had come in and justified the action of her husband, it would have added more weight. And moreover, she was also the part of that important event of firing, so her point of view would have led to more weightage, and the entire narration would have got a very different color. The final third suggestion that we would like to give to the screenplay architecture structure itself is not to forget that this story was all about the hero, Malik, as the title suggests. Now, ideally, in such movies, the story should start and end with the character. In this film, the story starts with the character, nevertheless, but the story continues even after the death of the major character. Now, it may be the call of the director to treat the script in this way, but what happens is, since the major twist about the girl, the major reveal about the girl happens after the death of the main character, that is the hero, at the end, the viewer does not feel any sympathy towards the hero but carries away the major twist which comes at the end and which does not involve the hero. The suggestion here is that though the girl who played a most important role in the final act, that could have been retained, but the reveal of who she is could have happened a bit earlier. What she does, she could have done even after the reveal, because the way she does her final act in itself is very interesting. So that could have been carried to the end, but who she is could have been revealed a bit later. The climax of the film should have been the final act done, which enables the death of the central character. If that had happened, the viewer could take the character of the hero in his mind after watching the movie.